jingle.
It's very, very professional, that particular commentator on that Irish game. Who the hell could that have been?
It was you.
No. Oh, was it? Oh, you do surprise me.
Right, well, a warm welcome back. The equation is ridiculously simple. One session, England survive, the Ashes stay alive, we go to the Oval.
Don't do this to me.
Australia take 4 wickets.
Don't do this to me, world.
Australia retain the Ashes. The Oval still retains interest because England had won to draw the series. There are World Test Championship points up for grabs, but it won't mean quite the same.
Jeff Perkins makes the point. There are also Test Championship points at stake for each match.
Well, yeah.
You're absolutely right, but my feeling is that no one's really going to give a rat's arse about the Test Championship until it gets nearer the time of the final, and then everyone will say, "Ooh, who won that?"
The phony war.
It's a kind of phony war, isn't it? Shall I jingle up
Well, we should definitely.
the England batsmen? They are, well, this one for a start.
In a test that's day and night, and Piggy scoring without hesitation. I know we'll be alright with Craig Overton.
Pryor ain't no loss, 'cause we found someone Buttler. Okay, he can't spell Jos, but he also can't spell.
Right, strap yourselves in, England fans, jump behind the sofa.
It's Jos Buttler.
It's going to be Nathan Lyon. In theory, 36 overs, but it's all about time.
Oh!
Lyon's in, and he's gone at first ball, Overton.
No,
He's not! Australia were convinced they had their man. It popped up, it looked like it took the top edge, it went straight forward short leg, and umpire Damasceno
That's
just has
not
a
looking
wry
good for Matthew
smile.
Wade.
Let us have a look.
It's nowhere near.
I mean, actually,
Well, what did it come off then? Sorry, Hendo, let's
It's
just
the
have
top of
another
his
quick
thigh
look.
pad.
Oh, it's top of his thigh. And that
then
doesn't
the bottom
look
part
good.
of his underarm
You're
guard.
absolutely right. Well spotted, Jason. Well, there's 4 men around the bat. Forward short leg, silly point, and a leg slip. And there's a big shout. Overton's trying to appear unmoved. I'm not sure we're unmoved.
now what you'll note, I want to bring a point to this as to
Yes.
what happened with this denial of the appeal, is that Payne and the other fielders leap up, run down the pitch. That's a break.
In comes Nathan Lyon onto the back foot. Goes Overton. This one pushed into the ground and
As I said,
onto Wade on the bounce.
And what you'll notice is Tim Payne, just as he goes past Wade, he says, pretty much, was it? And Wade says no. And that
Whoa.
is a
So
choreographed
that's cheating.
appeal. I mean, it's awful. That's
And
absolutely
Wade was
awful.
trying to calm him.
Yeah.
Well, in comes Lyon. Ooh, forward. Gets that great big old leg forward. There's the slab, the Somerset slab.
Also, I don't see the point of it, because it's obviously going to be shown on the review that you're a bunch of cheating bastards. I don't think the Australians are. I don't think they're any worse than, when Stuart Broad races down the wicket, not even looking at
No.
the umpire. But I just hate that in cricket.
I think Wade knew he hadn't taken it, though, as that one is...
Yeah, Wade
Overton.
did. Wade
Well,
knew
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
the others are saying, did he? And if you don't,
Overton
Wow.
pushed
Well,
that
no,
away
he
to
took a
mid-wicket, by the
catch.
way.
It just wasn't off the bat.
yeah, I know, but everyone's leaping around.
From where he's standing, he knows that didn't hit the bat,
Yeah.
and that to me is disappointing.
But it's pointless, also.
In comes Lyon, gives that plenty of flight. That does go up in the air.
No.
That one wasn't a catch. Nathan Lyon has a little look back. Interestingly enough, had it not been for the ball 4 balls before, I reckon they'd have appealed for that one.
I suppose the thing is, if they appeal for those things and they're given out, and England no longer have a review, that's when that sort of gamesmanship becomes dangerous to the game, in a sense.
True. Well,
Because in that situation, if that had been given out, then Craig Overton could quite easily have reviewed it, and it would have been overturned. But if it had been given out on the basis of, well, not on the basis of the appeal, but appeals do have effects to a certain extent.
Josh Hazlewood, anyway, has the ball. And I take your point, Hendo. He has the ball in his hand. He's bowled. He's a number 18 so far.
This is a jingle for Josh Hazlewood. This is a jingle for Josh Hazlewood.
And in he comes, right arm over full, and Buttler is on the back foot, but plays it nicely down into the ground. There's no run.
There's been quite a lot of tweeting over tea time.
Okay.
Mainly about whether a draw matters, and I'm just going to draw a line under that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Just one that from Messages, which says 1972 was the last time a series was drawn 2-2. But more interesting, Martin might ask the question, why can't the front-on replays use the super slow-mo 1,000 frames per second cameras? Would have knocked that Overton decision over in one replay.
I didn't know they didn't.
It's not it's not the cameras aren't already at the
in
ground.
again, right arm over. Very, very nicely forward is Buttler, who's looking solid, I have to say, Jos Buttler. Playing very nicely, very correctly. That tapping sound you can hear, we don't have a pet gorilla woodpecker. It's Hendo, our gorilla woodpecker. 166 for 6. Really, the runs don't matter. It's all about whether can Australia take 4 wickets or can England keep just one of those 4
in potentially
touch.
36 overs.
In potentially 36 overs. Hazelwood's in, and Buttler drops his shoulder and lets the ball go past him through to Tim Payne.
Now, again, I don't want to get overexcited at this stage. There's still a long way to go. But was it someone this morning was pointing out that overnight in Cardiff 2009, England was 7 for 2, and they went on to last until the very end.
They
with
did.
Was it Monty and
Jimmy Anderson?
Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah,
who
Monty
survived?
and Jimmy Anderson.
12 overs for the last wicket.
Wow, that's the kind of rearguard action we really need today.
Well, let's not forget the big rearguard action by Brigadier
We're daring
Block
to
in that
hope.
one
Stop
as
it.
well.
As Hazelwood comes in, that's speared down leg side. Horrible, filthy, dreadful, horrible, awful delivery.
Brigadier Block? Who's Brigadier Block?
Paul Collingwood.
Yeah, that was Collingwood, and who was he with?
I can't remember who he was batting with. I was driving around the New Forest at the time.
Someone will
And,
remind us.
Yeah, but following it like crazy. I was inventing.
Probably Ian Bell.
I kept pretending to go wrong in the car, not to get to where we were going, because I
crafty.
because I just didn't want to stop listening to the
Yes.
to the commentary.
Good work, Tony.
As in comes Hazelwood again. Oh, that one swings in quite late. That was a terrific delivery. Buttler played straight, played down as sort of the inside line, as it were, and let it go through.
I think what happened there actually was it started to swing in and then just
stopped.
Stopped as it once it pitched. It didn't continue its angle. It sort of just and that's probably why it beat him. Although you may say he just
Tim
played inside the
Payne's-
line.
And Nakapande says, this is not a minefield, but there is seam, a little inconsistent bounce, sharp turn, occasional swing, and a fine attack.
In comes Hazelwood. And that one does swing, and it takes the edge, and it's where third slip would have been. There is no third slip, and Jos Buttler will get 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
Yep.
Muttley's joined us.
Full of ball, wasn't it?
Woof.
And he's gone, woof. Welcome back, lads.
He did get rather squared up, and
Yeah.
probably 4th slip rather than 3rd slip, I think, where that one went.
What are our chances, do you think?
Not
think
great.
I still
Probably-
think odds against us.
Oh, let's find out the
3 to
odds.
1?
Let's
3 to
find
1?
the odds. Let's find the odds, Bear. You're out there. Find us some odds.
Bear, can you let us know what the odds now are for the draw for England? And we'll see if anyone wants to be brave enough to pop a bobble 2 on.
It's a hell of a long way to go. 34 overs is a lot of overs when you've got bowlers of this ability.
I've just realised who Tim Payne reminds me of behind the stumps there with his helmet on as Leon's in. That one turns in to the right-handed Overton, and it's pushed away to mid-wicket.
Kept low as well, didn't
What's
it?
the answer, Bear?
500
500 to 1. That's
to
for
win.
the win.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's yes. 9 to 5.
And the Australia win? 5 to 1
5
on.
to 1. Oh,
5
5 to 2 on for Australia. What was it? 9 to 5 for the draw. This one's pushed away back with a square by Overton. Survives another. That's what it's all about at the moment.
It's
It's
not actually
survival.
changed very much. I mean, they were 5 to 2 on an hour before tea, I think.
What were England's draw? Is that was
The
what?
draw has come up quite a
Yeah.
lot.
But
Yeah.
if you did, I'll tell you after this ball. Tim Payne goes down right in line, gives us plenty of air. It's left very professionally and very tidily by Overton. How many balls left of this over? 3 more from this line over for Overton to survive. It's all about survival. Forward short leg, silly point. leg slip and a slip surround the bat as Lyon skips in. Big old front foot forward from Overton, away into the onside.
It's almost like they've got a little rectangle of close catches, isn't it? And then they've got Payne in the middle of that as some sort of nucleus.
Now, Payne, I was going to tell you my thought, and then you need to actually be looking at him when you see it. As Nathan Lyon, right arm over. Oh, and Overton's played that a bit late and hurried him up, but he was successful. He reminds me of Elmer Fudd.
I don't know.
Elmer Fudd, the hunter and or always in the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Daffy Duck's protagonist.
Yeah, and Bugs Bunny's protagonist.
Do you know, I can't bring him to mind at the moment.
You look at him with his helmet on. Oh, this one's well played. Turn around the corner by Overton. But of course, there's a man at short fine leg. There's a leg slip. And there is no run. James Taylor sitting on his own. Where is his boss?
He's lost his.
No wonder he's looking so upset. He's lost Dr. Doom.
What I wanted to say about Craig Overton is that whatever you think about his abilities of being in a test team and whether he's the right bowler,
He's a fighter.
He's a fighter, and not just that. I think he's another of these guys who has a natural test match temperament. I think it's true of Sam Curran. And I think it's true of him that he's one of those people who actually relishes the fight rather than being, daunted by it. He actually relishes it.
33 overs is the minimum overs remaining as Josh Hazlewood takes up the attack. He's right arm over, he's in, and it's left. Very tidily by Buttler, and another ball goes by. 170 for 6.
I should point out that Elmer Fudd was totally bald.
Yes, but you can't see. Well, my point is, yes, but look at him with his hat on. So have a look at an Elmer Fudd picture with a hat on.
Okay, I can see that maybe, yes.
And Tim Payne's got one of those sort of squidgy sponge-type faces, hasn't he?
I think he's a good-looking boy, actually, Tim Payne. I have to say, I think he's one of the better-looking Australians.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
How high a bar is that, though?
Steady on. I mean, the people can see us, remember?
Yes, this is true. People in glass houses, as Hazlewood's going to be in. Oh, and that one moved away from Buttler. It was a good ball. It seemed to pick up pace off the pitch as well.
Fast leg break.
That was a fast leg break. That's that ball again. It's that ball. It must be the seam. The seam must be more pronounced on that ball.
Yeah, and surely.
I mean, look at that. Even from sort of an angle at mid-off, you can see how far that has gone.
But if that's true, surely when you get the balls out the box,
you should be able to feel the seam.
You should be able to have a look at it as the umpire and go, well, hang on. Here's, this is going to be different.
I'm just wondering, is that taking a little bit of a chunk out of the pitch as well?
I think it may well have done. In comes Hazlewood, left alone again by Buttler.
I think England might actually prefer it when we get to the new ball.
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I was just
will they take it
if we get to the new ball?
If you're going to keep attacking outside of off stump,
will they take it?
Just keep it going. England will go. Just keep bowling those. If you're not going to bowl at the stumps, keep bowling there. Because I think both Overton and Buttler are sufficiently minded that if it's outside off stump, leave it alone. You don't need to go fishing. Don't do it.
Muttley says, don't do that to me, give me hope. I was ready to switch and go off back to bed.
Well, we all have evening plans that may need to be adjusted, or may not, but we shall see. In comes Hazlewood, short, and it died a bit on Buttler, and he did a sort of a, well, he stood tall but dropped his bat, and the ball went over the top and taken, I think, first, possibly even second bounce by Tim Payne.
Yeah,
it died very quickly.
It did die because he's actually thinking that's going to come up around my head.
Yeah,
and he's, as you say, he's dropped the shoulder and turned away, hasn't he? And it's just died as it goes through the Payne.
So we're getting that variable bounce. Well, he did roll his fingers across it. So it was, I think, a deliberately slower ball bouncer by Hazlewood. So was actually quite well bowled, and I think he fully intended it. 170 for 6. He's going to be in again. He has that bank of green and yellow Australian supporters behind him. And Buttler plays this nicely again, pushes it out to point.
Linux Lear sent us a very nice meme. You know that guy who comes out with the camera and follows the batsman and also the team as they come out.
We call him the Angel of Death, particularly when he's the batsman's walking back.
She sent us a meme of a video of Wade chasing that guy away by running straight up to him and making himself very, very big in the camera. Which is quite funny.
It's very tense. You can touch the tension. The Australians are tense. The English fans are tense. Well, some of them are.
Roger Melly also says, I had a talk with the lads at the tee. Don't worry, we've got this.
As Hazlewood barrels in, 3 slips go down, worked off his legs by Buttler, straight to short mid-wicket, no run.
And Clint Williams says, Australia do not seem to be bothered by the fact that Leach remains to bat. Before each ball, gloves off, helmet off, wipes glasses, helmet on, gloves back on. Although, unfortunately, he's learnt some new skills. He managed to clean his glasses through his helmet.
Through his grill.
Yes.
Wow.
We don't want him doing that
No,
when there's time to be wasted.
Messages reminds us, with 36 entries today, surely today is a day for a huge GPL winner.
Did we really have 36? When I looked at it, we'd only had about 14, and they'd all been pretty much the same person.
The amount would be huge, or the winner would be huge?
Well, the winner would be huge. It's 140. It's going to be. It was 133 pounds to start with. It's going to be more than that.
Another 18 quid.
Yep.
Who's that bloke?
It's some idiot who's.
Is it some pop star? Is it some pop star?
Is it one of Oasis?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Don't encourage
Nathan
him.
Lyon and Tim Payne. I'm not quite sure what he's getting excited about. It just went down the leg side, threw into his gloves.
They've got a very good field here.
Well, they're just fully on the attack, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. How do you move one of those? It's the one in front on the offside that kind of is pushing him
it's
back all the
basically a box
time.
of four around him, isn't it?
Yeah.
As he's forward, and he's pushed to one of those fielders, which is Marnus Labuschagne, who's there at forward short leg. Or is that Wade at forward short
It's
leg?
Wade there, I think.
That's
yeah.
Wade, is it? And who have we got? We've got then Marnus Labuschagne at silly point, have we?
It'll be one of. Yeah, I imagine
Could be
so.
Bancroft.
I don't think it is now. I don't think so. But we will see. In comes Lyon. This one again is short and whipped away by Overton to that short mid wicket.
That's Wade there.
That's
isn't it?
Matthew
That's
Wade at
Wade,
short
yeah.
mid wicket.
So it's probably Labuschagne
who-
at short leg. I'm not sure who's at silly
Who's
mid
at
off.
silly point and or silly mid off?
Could be Travis Head,
No.
perhaps, or Bancroft if
We
he's on.
can't see. We'll let you know as soon
Smith's
as we know.
at slip.
Lyon is in again. Overton can probably deal with those all day. And it's pushed away to square leg. They will take a single this time. Bring Jos Buttler on to strike.
Talking about the super slow-mo cameras, even Scooter says they're probably not at every ground in every series, and we've seen the high financial imposition of DRS on certain boards is high enough as it is.
I mean, they should be
yeah.
there. It's another thing the ICC should dig deep into their pockets to finance, to be honest.
Muttley says, did you say 9 to 5? Sending us a meme of Dolly Parton in full bouffant hairdo.
Oh, marvellous. In comes Lyon. This one, and it hurries Buttler up and he turns it around the corner to short fine leg and there's no run.
Yeah, he played it well, I think, in the end.
He did play
But he's
it
got
well.
to be careful. I mean, the ball's coming in. He can't push out at it because he's got a silly mid off. He's got a slip, and then he's got the guy round the corner at leg slip or leg gully, and he could easily just easily clip it to him.
Yeah, it's a leg slip, a conventional slip. And this one again is turned around the corner, and there's that man at backward square who's just waiting to deal with those, which he duly does. Concludes that over from Nathan Lyon.
And
Another over goes by. 4 wickets still intact for England.
Down to 31 overs required to see out the day.
Lennox Deer says the word you're looking for is antagonist in terms of Elmer Fudd, I think, and Umpire Bell says darn wabbits.
Don Wabbits.
Wabbits.
And Martin White says, as I said earlier, the objective for England is to regain the Ashes. If they lose today, they fail to do that. Even if they draw this in the real next match, they will still have failed.
Yeah, I think that's what you said to me when we went out there, Tony, in the green room at tea, didn't you? Basically, it's a failed campaign, basically.
It is, because the main objective of the campaign was to win back the Ashes. If they don't, then it has failed.
And then, I mean,
it still shouldn't. There is still big value to that final test at the Oval, but it's not quite the same by any manner of means.
And also, I think
have gone.
Once they do get this 2-1 lead, then there's not the onus on them to win that test, really, is there? So that it's the chances that England will be able to get it back to 2-2. I mean, Australia, if they get it and bat and it's a good wicket, could just bat and bat and bat.
171 for 6. Hazelwood still in the attack. He's right arm over and it's pulled around the corner by Overton. It beats the man at short fine leg this time, but there is a man down there at long leg, which is Mitchell Stark, who's down there grazing, waiting for the opportunity to probably get a new ball in his hand, although I suspect will they open with Stark and Cummins, do you think? It's dropped to no, isn't it?
That's quite a good field placing they've got there. They've got a man in at short leg now for Craig Overton, although he's just got the single, but they also had that guy kind of on the 45 or in a sort of catching position, so that if he just did whip it off his hip, he could be in danger of being caught. He's still got that man there for Buttler.
Hazelwood is in. And
he's been bowled.
He's bowled Buttler with an in-swinger. Buttler left it. His off peg is back. The end, I fear, is now in sight.
Yes, indeed. That swung significantly, and this is the thing. Hazelwood wasn't getting much swing earlier. He's begun to get swing since tee with this ball that's the replacement ball, and that's come back a long way.
Jos Buttler.
On your bike, mate.
Amar had actually said, Buttler out please, Aussie bowlers, and Mikhail Zufkea was saying, well done Englishman, but not so well now. Now, do you know what I would do? And I'm sure they won't.
Send out Jack Leach.
I would send out Jack Leach now. I'd just say, get out there with your Somerset colleague, use that, whatever it is, chemistry, camaraderie, use the what you did at Headingley, and just keep doing it. I don't know that sending Archer out is going to help.
No.
Well,
I don't think sending Broad out.
Oh no, I don't think so. And I think Broad should go down to 11.
I would rather have him coming in if we had to face an over and him survive it. Then, but you need to get to that, and the best route to get to that, I think, would be to send Leach in.
You need to eat up some balls, and Leach is probably the best person to do that.
The thing is though that you know, they're bowling particularly well with this ball, and that, I mean, that swung a long way, and you know, he's had one ball in the previous over that pitched straight and went like a leg break.
Well, they haven't done
And
it.
now, how can you then, judge a ball that is starting a sort of foot and a half outside off and then trails in at the last minute to take your off stump? It's very difficult for batsmen. People will look at Jos Buttler and they'll say, well, he's failed again, he's only got 34. But I mean, you know, what more can he do? He's batted really well. And, you know, unfortunately, he's just misjudged one there, which you can understand why he misjudged it. It wasn't far from being a no ball, to be honest, either.
You can, but that said, yeah, I mean, he probably should have looked to play inside the line at the very least, and rather than just watch it.
Yeah, getting the bat out of the way.
He really did get the bat completely out of the way, and the ball is moving and it is swinging in. And yeah, I mean, this is not the first time this series that a change in ball has netted wickets for Australia. I'm not saying England wouldn't do it, by the way, because I reckon they would. Someone's trying to change channels in the other room, and all of a sudden we've got strange captioning coming up. It is Jofra Archer. I don't think it should be, but it is. So let's see how he does.
I imagine that's the bears behind sitting on it.
Yeah,
the remote control.
He's sat on the remote control, do you reckon?
And now it's time for Jofra Archer.
Hazelwood is going to be in. Ooh, and it was quick, and it was on leg stump. But Archer actually got a bat behind it nicely and thought about a run, but he was sent back by Craig Overton.
Well, we're really going to have to see his a millimetre behind the line.
That was skirting with the front line, wasn't it? Is that the
certainly
ball
was.
to Buttler as well? Wow.
Yeah,
there
that was the
wasn't
wicket
much
ball,
to
yeah.
spare for that.
Been a few of those for England, actually, where the ball, where Cummins a couple of times been very, very close to overstepping. But, you know, it's the margins, isn't it? It's the thin margins
Fine
again.
margins, and Australia have shaded this by far, I think. If you can say that, as this one jumps up at Archer. Oh, nearly kicks the ball onto his own stumps. Labuschagne can't believe what he's just seen.
Well, that was ridiculous.
I think Archer played it down into the ground. The Aussie fielders were getting right into his space to pick the ball up, and Archer, rather than let them do that, decided to backheel it, and he damn near backheeled it onto his own stumps. Let's have a look from this angle.
It's almost a cricket Rabona, because
Watch here, look. Oh no, he actually flicks it from his back foot onto his front foot, and his front foot nearly flicks it onto his wicket.
Yeah.
But this view will be extraordinary. Look at
that.
That would have been the most extraordinary way to get out. In comes Hazelwood, short and left. Sorry, Hendy, you were about to say something there.
No, I was about to say the same thing. It was his back foot, and he was trying to flick it forward with his back foot, hit onto his front heel, and then almost went straight back onto his stumps. Just missed them.
Wow, it's 74.5 overs. One ball left then for this over, which is Hazelwood's 15th. 172 for 7 England, but really the number of runs on the board are irrelevant. In the situation in which we find ourselves, there are 2 slips in place. There is a man on the 45, there's a man at shortish point. Hazelwood is in, and this one nicely played by Archer, dabs it away to past second slip. Steve Smith does the fielding, and they will get a single. Ashley Archer will keep the strike.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure I wanted Archer to keep the strike
Ooh,
because
I'm not sure
I was in the first innings where he prodded forward at one point to Lyon, and it flew off over the top of short leg as he tried to grasp it. He does go a little bit hard at the ball. He hasn't learnt the soft hand tactics so much yet. I mean, I suppose he's not had that much batting against this quality of spin bowling, really.
Let me get through some tweets. Lionel Steer says, I have to agree with Hendo on the attractiveness of the Australians. On the other hand, Nathan, faces only a mother could love Lion. Steve, I'm inbred, hooray, Smith, and David, homunculus Warner are weak competition.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Seeing Jack Leach
Comrade
up in the
Bernski
pavilion.
says, don't do this to me, England. Boarding a flight to Monterrey, Mexico in an hour. It's the hope that kills you. Well, I don't think there's much hope. No,
I think hope may have gone with Buttler, but these two, you just want them to grit it out as best they can and not give things away. There's that ring of 4 around him. Oh, and that flipped up, and it did take some edge. Took the shoulder of the bat, but it went sort of between leg slip and forward short leg.
Well, that's not going to encourage
And,
people to come in at all.
Archer survives.
Yeah, it's off the glove onto the thigh pad.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Who have we got? It's
Di Watkins says,
Travis Head there at leg slip.
Newport, South Wales here, had to go and hide in the kitchen for what seems like the 100th time this summer.
You're gonna. I don't know if that's going to work for you this time. No, who's coming? Mitchell Marsh is bringing on a helmet.
Yeah, I think they're going to
for
plug that
Matthew
gap.
Wade. They are. So we've now got a 5th man around the bat.
Which does mean that if...
There's gaps.
well,
There'll be
no, I
gaps
wasn't to say that, but if he does bring a man in between the leg slip and the forward short leg, he's now got 2 behind leg on the onside, so he could risk trying to hit the ball over them,
in comes
giving it a bit of a
Lyon,
sweep.
Nicely forward comes Jofra.
Umpire Bell gives us a tweet from the Quick Viz analyst who says the pitch Viz difficulty rating is currently 6.5 of 10. This makes this period the toughest period for batting at any point in the test.
Oh, well, that's
but still
not
isn't
surprising.
That high.
Certainly is for batsmen of this
Well, I wonder how they
calibre.
calculate that. That's interesting. Lyon is in, and that one takes it to the edge, and it's just short of Matthew Wade. Is it Matthew Wade? Yes, it was Matthew Wade who's... well, let's have a look.
If only he was taller.
I just want to say something about Jofra Archer here, and it is that he decided in the last test that he would try and bludgeon England's way to a win before he was out. I think he's got to do that here with 5 men round the bat.
What have we got? How would you describe these? This one is pushed forward by
It's
Archer.
an old-fashioned uncovered pitches
field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, you've got
nobody. You've got no one beyond those 2 short legs behind on the square. So you've got to sweep or you've got to try and pull.
It's kind of a leg slip and a leg gully and a forward short leg, isn't it? As this one.
Oh,
keeps
that-
low and he's in front. He's pinned,
that's
and he's gone.
done him. That's unbelievable.
That just didn't bounce at all. You can't blame Archer for that. Do England have a review? I don't think
Well,
they
there's no
use
point.
it.
You
It's
can't use
utterly
that.
pointless. It was a slap bang in front. The ball was an absolute grubber. Bad luck, Jofra. You really couldn't do anything about that. Lyon has his first wicket.
No, it's his second.
Second wicket. Anyway, you'd call it lucky. It simply didn't
that's
bounce
just
at all.
ridiculous.
That's torpedoed him.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? No!
Well, that's just... I suppose we don't see it that often because we don't go to 5th days that often, but that is just a cruel and horrible way to get out, and I'm not surprised he's chuntering away and shaking his head as he goes off there. You remember the one that Nasser Hussain got out to? Was it in the West Indies?
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly like that.
The
I mean,
Carl Hooper P-roller.
yeah, you just go back because, you know, you're trying to play it with the turn and then it just grubs along on the ground. Cricket can be a very cruel game, but I think that's more or less it for England. 170 for 8.
Yep.
Evilshire says, talking about the funding, and says, I'd rather that money go to boards like Iceland or Mexico to help grow the game.
What funding?
For DRS.
Well,
And also...
Well, I don't think it's either or. I mean, I think the ICC is sitting on a big enough pile to do both, to be honest.
That's probably true.
So...
And
you know.
Linux there says, let's be realistic here, Heather. Even if the oval wicket is not good, Smith will still bat and bat and bat.
Well, he
and
will.
bat. and
Well,
bat.
here comes Jack Leach.
Well, he's been pushed up the order.
This has been pushed up the order by 1. We're running on empty as far as hope goes, but we are running on empty.
Coming up, here's a face that I know. It's Jack Leach. Coming up is Jack Leach. Oh, Jack Leach.
Oh, look at the field now as Jofra Archer is in. Sorry, as Jofra Archer, not Jack Leach is facing, and Nathan Lyon is in. He's around the wicket to Jack Leach.
Well, there's a curious thing there,
of course.
Also in that LBW that had the umpire was never going to give that not out, but had he not, it would have been not out because it was umpire's call on the impact.
Yeah, no, exactly. Overton's on 14 off 64. He's done his job well. Archer was just downright unlucky. Buttler, well, he just misjudged one that nipped back at him from
A long way
Josh
out.
Hazelwood from quite a long way out. And now it is
On Nelson as well.
the
balls
man
face.
whose glasses cloth has its own Twitter account with about well over 1,000 followers apparently.
Gee, it's almost as many as me.
Jack Leach.
Imagine having more Twitter followers. Imagine being beaten by a glasses cloth.
It's Somerset. Are you listening, Annie? Are you listening, Grubby? Your boys have glory written all over them, don't they? Surely. As Hazelwood is going to be in, and he's in. And he's completely... Oh, well, there's a big shout for LBW. Murray Erasmus has walked away. It's going to be leg
bat on that,
buys.
didn't he? I think he got bat on that.
Well, I think Australia are going to review this, aren't they? They're all
was a
coming together, and
hell
yes,
of a
they
ball,
are going to review. It's
wasn't
a fantastic inducker from Hazelwood.
It was a Yorker, basically, an inducking Yorker.
Yeah.
If he didn't get bat on that, then he's absolutely plumb. If he did get bat on that, then he's saved because it'll be 4 runs. But Erasmus certainly didn't give it. He thought it must have hit the bat or missed everything even.
We are at the mercy of Richira Paligaruga.
Ball is legal.
It was. It pitches in line. Oh, it may
do
it was the
too
pitch on the
much.
back leg, though.
It's been given not out, hasn't it? So, yeah, it's hit the bat leg.
It may just do too much.
It's
It might be
swinging.
umpire's call on a leg
It's
stump.
swinging.
It's swung past his bat. It swung past his front toe. I don't think there's actually any bat on that.
Well, there isn't. Ultra Edge is showing a little something, but I think that's the bat hitting the ground.
It's
isn't
the
it?
back leg, isn't it? That's the trouble. Has
He's
it gone
hit
enough?
on the back foot leg, which is probably 9 inches in front of middle and leg. And if that is the case, then I can't really see this being survived. Tense moment. And the bear sat on the remote control again. He's that.
He's got a sense of timing, the bear.
One of the bear's buttock cheeks has come into the game late. And whoa,
They're not certain about this, are they? I don't think. I don't think the Australians are certain, having seen the replay.
Have they burned to review?
Well, we're going to have to look up. We're not seeing the front on.
Elmer Fudd is.
Or have they had a technical failure because we're not hearing anything either.
Everyone's looking a bit perplexed. The Aussie tourists, who are probably there with Merv Hughes in their green tracksuit tops and yellow caps, are waiting. They're sensing blood. Australia looked like they absolutely were sensing blood, and all of a sudden they look like they're not quite so sure.
Oh, here we go.
It's in line. The impact is in line.
It's
missing. It's missing. It did too much. The review is lost. Overton has survived.
It's not out. Brilliant umpiring by Erasmus again.
Umpire Erasmus is vindicated. He will feel very, very happy about that.
I'm curious.
Now, what are the Australians going to discuss?
I can't
They're having a
imagine
chat
they're
with
going
him.
to discuss. Are they discussing the fact that he gave it as runs? In which case he should review that himself, shouldn't he?
Then it should be leg buys, that's all.
One-
Or did they run, though? They didn't. Did
Well,
go
I think
for
it was
four?
the boundary.
It
It went to the
straight to the
boundary.
Oh, it went to the boundary. Then it should be 4 leg buys.
Should be
shouldn't
4 leg buys, yeah.
it? It's 4 on the score, and like we said, that just doesn't matter anyway. The score is irrelevant. Hazelwood might feel that it's put a little dent in his numbers. He's in full, takes the edge, it drops just short of Steve Smith at second slip. On first bounce.
He's getting significant induct.
Yeah.
He
Free
is.
ball.
If I was offered the new ball now, I wouldn't take it if I was Australia.
Not
I wouldn't see the
until-
point to do it.
Well, they're not going to be offered it for another 4 or 5 overs.
Well, no, they're not. But right now, what I meant was, if the new ball
No, I know
was
what you're saying.
available now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it.
No, I know
they've
this-
already changed the ball after 60, and this ball's doing everything they want it to do for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been crucial, actually, this ball, I think. in wheedling out England. And not saying that England would have saved it anyway.
It has wheedled effectively as Hazelwood is in, right arm over, out one, dips into Overton, who played it very nicely actually.
Played it very well.
Well done, Craig.
Arthurshire says, I'm beginning to wonder whether it's worth doing away with Jos Buttler in the traditional specialist number 7 who averages 32 roll. That's a bit harsh. He did
Under the
battle very hard.
I mean, you've got to look at what situation
Yeah.
he's come into bat. I mean,
I
he got
think so.
run out at Headingley by Ben Stokes, completely sold down the river. He's come out here. He's not going to win the game, is he? There's no chance of him winning the game.
But he
So
wasn't playing it like he was going
no,
to.
and
That's
so
the
he
point.
has to play it in that way just to survive. And he's done pretty well.
He
And the
did
ball's
well,
suddenly done all sorts.
Yeah, as in comes Hazelwood. The 2 slips go down, and Overton tickles this around the corner. They're going to take a single. Jack Leach has comfortably made his ground. Hazelwood has 2 chances to have a pop at the newer of the 2 batsmen, or the newer Jack Leach, yet to get off the mark.
Dave
Just
would
a
ask the
one-ball
question, at what stage does Marcus North come on to bowl? And John Lowe says, I'm shame none of this matters anymore. I guess Buttler was really more like margarine.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good. I
Well,
can't believe it's
you
not
know,
Buttler.
I mean, I'm quite prepared to be critical of Buttler in some respects, but I don't think he's done a bad job today at all.
He should have. He shouldn't have withdrawn the bat from that.
But,
That never looks good when you do
it's
that.
It's a slight misjudgment to a ball that is going round corners now, and I think that's fair enough.
3 slips, a gully, forward short leg, silly point. Hazelwood in, just draws the drive or the sort of the off stump waft from the left-handed
prod.
Leach. The prod, thank you, that's the word I was looking for. But through to Tim Payne behind the stumps without actually doing any damage.
I think
It was a horrible shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think actually he'll not be worried about bowling to Jack Leach at all in terms he's got a left hand, and then if there is a weakness for Jack Leach, it is the ball that's just a little bit shorter of a half volley, or I suppose it's a good length ball effectively, that is moving away from him. I've seen him caught in the slips, and that's what he'll be aiming to get him to do. Or is he coming round the wicket now?
I'll let you know in a second. He is coming around the wicket. He's trying to slant this across, and Jack Leach just turns it very nicely off his legs.
There's
2
nobody
mid-wicket.
there.
They take 1, they take 2, they can probably quite comfortably take 3, they will take 3. So having said runs don't matter, you might as well take them while they're there, and 3 is what they've taken.
Ivo Scootis sums up the situation very neatly with one word.
Doomed?
Sigh.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously Australia have been the better team in this game, and much of the series.
Yeah, I think
But
you've got to say that.
I just feel a bit sore about this ball that they've taken, because it really is. The difference is that it's doing so much in the air where the previous ball was doing nothing. The previous ball was moving off the seam, but this ball is doing both, and it's doing it significantly.
Oh, well, the frustration is from England's perspective. They can look at it, and it has happened twice in the series. It happened at Edgbaston. It's happened here. At Edgbaston, it got 2 wickets just when Australia needed them. Denley was looking in. We're going to see Mitchell Starc. We're going to see Mitchell Starc with the old ball.
Yeah, and the curious thing is when Mitchell Starc came on when Cummins was getting it to really move round corners, he wasn't really getting it to move, was he?
Yeah, well, he's the mop, the Hoover. Let's see what he can do here.
He's had no swing! No swing since Cape Town! No swing since Cape Town! Mitchell Starc's had no swing since Cape Town!
Well,
Expect lots of Yorkers.
Yep. I think he's going to bowl 4. This one's short, and it nearly chops poor old Jack Leach in half. And it went through to Tim Payne behind the stumps. I'm going to see this one from behind the wicket. Oh, and it did cut him in half, and it went probably 6 inches over the top of off stump. Mitchell Starc has thoroughly enjoyed that, and he's having a smile and a look back along the track to Jack Leach.
The wonderfully named Sandgroper, I don't recall seeing tweet to us before, said Archer should have reviewed. That was definitely going under the stumps.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Actually, they also said that on Crick Tracker. Sorry, not Crick Tracker, on Crick Info. As this one beats the outside edge of Leach, just moves away, dipped in and moved away from him. Leach wasn't forward, he wasn't back, he was just sort of dangling. But it didn't get him out.
Linux Leo also says, it doesn't matter if you call him the bold Vittori or the Taunton Tendulkar, he surely is England's last best hope for a draw, to paraphrase the Babylon 5 opening narration.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely, he is. You look back on Butler's innings of 34 and you still say, well, actually, Leach...
Butler batted well.
Butler
He
batted
took a
well.
lot of time out of the game. He gave us a chance.
Over 100 balls.
Here comes Mitchell Stark. Elbows pumping. And again, Jack Leach just went past his outside edge. Not much footwork. A little bit of a thrust forward with the bat. Through to Tim Payne. Still those 2 wickets needed to retain the Ashes for Australia.
Ooh, you might need to get up the GPL. Because messages. Okay, I need England to make 179, 181, 183, 185, 187, 189, 191, 193, 195, 197, or 199.
Can we get the bear on the case for that?
I'm just calling it up. I'm going to have to... at the moment, all I can see is 8 entries. Oh, no, here we go.
I don't think he's laid a bat on the ball yet this over, has he, from Stark? And that one he does, because it ducks into him, as you predicted, Hendo. Full and nipping in. But Leach was they had the measure of it and pushed it away into the offside.
Let's work this out. England started on 18 for 2, so they've scored 163 runs so far today. And Messi Jez, who would have thought it? Messi Jez has 163 in the GPL.
He's a pro.
He's also got 165, 167, 169, 171, 173. And along with Des, he's got 175 all the way up to 181. Sorry? That's what I said, yeah. So they've got 163 today so far.
Jack Leach is tapping his mark. His bat raise, studying concentration. Stark drops this one a bit short. And Leach, funnily enough, though, that was easy for him to play.
And
pitching it up and getting it swinging is a better route, I think, for Stark. Sorry, Jason.
Talking about what the Bears' activities in the other room, says, is Bear attempting a new form of DRS, Derriere Review System?
The Derriere Review System, we like that.
It's my turn to have half an hour off, isn't it, actually, I think? So, yeah, I think it is, because you 3 have had in the lot. I've been in him pretty much since.
Okay.
So the Bear were coming to ball by ball. I'll be trotting off. And
well, it's the last ball of this over. From Mitchell Stark to Jack Leach. Full swinging! Leach drops the bat on it. It goes away to mid-on and he'll get a single. And Leach has pinched the strike from his Somerset colleague.
He's protecting Overton.
He's protecting Overton. Yeah.
How well did he play that, though? I mean, that was superb.
By
really
Jove. And, well, what a searching over that was for Mitchell Stark with this new old ball.
Right, change of commentary. And in the meantime, give us your flaming money.
We need you.
Alternative cricket commentary. Bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are gorillas. We need your Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket.
Roger Melly has tweeted us saying, Jaws gone out to 18. The joke's on them. They don't know how to talk to the lads.
Well, England have lost 2 wickets a session, basically. And if they carry on in that vein, they will get a draw. But obviously, and actually, they lost 2 wickets at the beginning of the last session. Although you have to say that the batsmen are getting progressively worse. Obviously, as we go down the order, Nathan Lyon is continuing. He'll like the fact he's bowling to a lefty in Leach. There is a lot of people around the bat. There is 2 slips, gully, silly mid-off. There is a short leg and a leg slip. There's 6 around the bat. Leach defends that.
There'll be a man on drive at mid-wicket.
If you close your eyes, this could almost be Jim Laker bowling, couldn't it, at Old Trafford?
John Embury in
so the way it goes,
79.
Defended into the...
What have we got, actually?
There's not a lot, still. There's not massive. It doesn't leap and bounce off
It's
the straight still.
It's effectively 3 slips to a spinner, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got 3 slips.
Well, I mean, if he gets the rough, it's going to turn, but the rough's quite far outside the off stump. So
3 slips and a silly point and a forward short leg and a leg slip.
That's defended well by Leach up to mid-on. There's no run.
So you've got six around the bat.
I'm starting to feel a little bit tense. We're nearly at 5 o'clock.
Well, barring an act of God
we're at
weather-wise,
5:15.
we're looking at Brigadier Block, who's up there in the England dressing room.
And Lyon is around the wicket, tossed up, defended well by Leach out to cover. And,
Were they to do this, this would in its way
be as astonishing as hitting me.
astonishingly.
Well, if it was, I mean, this is it. I mean, we've pretty much been outplayed in 3 out of 4 tests. No, actually, we won one and we nearly got another victory. Well, actually, the one we won, we were behind all the way, weren't we? I forgot about that. Defended by Leach outside half the bat, but into the ground, so second slip, there's no run. I mean, we have been pretty much outplayed in 3 out of 4 tests. The one we won was an absolute, well, not a fluke, but massively against the odds. We had a chance of winning at Lords. Tossed up short. Oh, managed to play at that. I think he actually drew his bat inside that, and there's no run. Ends that over. 182 for 8, England. 2 wickets remaining. Overton's on 15. He's faced 68 balls as Overton. It's a question of getting in, isn't it? I think if you can get yourself in. I mean, Archer was, you can't defend that shit. And as Hendo said rightly, I mean, it was almost worth reviewing because you don't know whether it would have hit him outside the line of off stump. It just kept so low, you knew it was going to hit the stumps. And the ball that got that got Buttler, I mean, that came in a long way. Well, England should complain about these change of balls.
I'm sure they will.
But
they have no right of recourse.
They won't have any right of recourse,
there's
of course.
nothing you can do.
Second new ball is available in over, and as I've been hearing Tony say, will they take it? I don't know.
I wouldn't have thought so with 8 wickets down with the old ball.
Reversing.
And probably 4 wickets in half an hour with this ball.
Yeah, true. Well, Stark's at the end of his run. He's chomping at the bit. He's facing up. It's Overton. And Stark is going to come around the wicket to him. It's full and into his pads. It's quick, man. I'd like to see what the pace on that as well. I reckon that's up around 90. And he defends it out to mid-wicket and there's no run.
If he gets that to move, that's going to be awful hard to
well,
play.
It is. That was
92. Wow.
91.9 miles an hour, that ball. Very full. To be fair, Overton defended it pretty well. I mean, they will be expecting the Yorkers. That's what Stark is known for. And whatever happens, it's been not a bad backs to the wall effort by England, defended by Overton up to mid-off, and there's no run. And I don't care what anyone says.
Are you really surprised that the slab is so resistant?
No, not at all. I've seen him back before. That's why I bet for him to get a 50 in the first innings, but then he got out about 3 balls after I put the money on. But in typical fashion. But I saw him bat in Australia, and he was pretty resilient. And he was pretty resilient in New Zealand when he got to 30 when we were bowled out for that appallingly low score in that first test. He's a big lad. He looks quite gritty. Stark around the wicket, short-ish, but it's kind of pitch. Doesn't get up, and Overton can get on top of it and just drops it down to city mid-off, and there's no run. He traps Ho's fielder.
Do you believe, as the basis of that last wide shot with all the fielders, there is no fine leg stroke long leg out there, that all the fielders are...
It's not about right. I mean, you go into the... I mean, I once batted out, I think, 18, 20, maybe 24 overs or something. Scored a 4 off the last ball of the game. And my whole point, I've been instructed by my captain, who's a dreadful man, short and wide, and Overton has no need to play it, there's no run. And I went in there with a mindset that I'm not going to play anything unless you bowl it to hit the stumps. And if I know where my off stump is, and I'll just let it go through to the keeper. And they got really frustrated with me. And it was quite funny on the pitch. They asked me, "Are you ever going to try and hit the ball?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And the point where you got to get me out, and basically you're not quick enough. And the pitch was as flat as a pancake. It was never doing anything. There was no swing in the air. It was a hot sunny afternoon. It was just a question of my. Basically, this team I think have won 13 in a row or 16 in a row.
So they're more disappointed their record was going.
Precisely, and Russell being Russell is a complete wanker. Very full. Squeezed away out through the vacant third man. He'll get himself 4 runs for that. Well, Craig Overton.
Not that it makes any difference.
No,
whatsoever.
it makes no difference whatsoever. He basically said to me that this team have won 16 games in a row. I don't want them to win 17. You make sure that you don't get out. And I said, all right. And if you can set yourself in that mindset and get your iron, the question is to get your iron. I mean, you can always get out early to a good ball, or you can get a grubber like Archer did. But if you're not looking to score runs, sometimes everyone says, "Oh, you can't not do. You got to score naturally." But I think for tail enders, less so. I think it's more about Well, do you know how to defend the ball? Yes, I do. Do you know how to leave the ball? Yes, I do. On the hip, it just works around the corner. It's behind square and there's no run.
In answer to Procedure Ramesh, who'd asked how many hours remaining, and Innocent YT was asking how many overs left. 25 overs, and we think
here comes the new ball they're not going to use.
UK time.
Well, the new ball is come out. It'll be given to the umpire. It'll be up to the Australians when they take it.
I wouldn't take it straight away. I'd wait at least maybe 5-6 overs with this current ball because it's still doing stuff.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, I don't know. It's a tricky one.
But they are bringing on their gun bowlers. So maybe they are.
Well, the new ball's available.
Well, it's just after tea. They should have a short rest, feet up, probably a massage.
But they're getting this new old ball. Remember, supposed to be 60 overs old, but behaving very differently to the one that was cashed in at 60.
I'm sure the press will be writing about this tomorrow if England lose, won't
they? Yeah, again.
Everyone will be making excuses.
You could hide behind it. It doesn't alter the fact that probably Australia
You've been outplayed.
have outplayed us.
Hertfordshire has given us a possible oval side, depending on the result.
Oh, that's interesting. What?
He's assuming, I think, we lose because he's got quite a lot of changes in the side.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
Uh,
I'll run through it quickly. Burns, Denley, Milan, Buttler, Stokes, Pope, Folkes, wicket-keeping, Wokes, Archer, Broad and Leach. So quite a lot of people are dropped there.
That middle order changes around.
Root gets a rest.
Defended out to cover and there's no run.
Broad is captain. That's very strange, rather than Burns or anybody else, or Buttler or Stokes, who all have been vice captain in the past.
Well, he's had one ball. He's had one ball with that old ball in that over, and he's now taken the new ball.
They have taken the new ball. So the new ball has been taken.
New balls, please.
Of course, Bestow's jettisoned from that side as well.
Well, yeah, it didn't do too bad today. That's in Leach, defends that out into the onside. There's no run. Well, the bowlers have been out there for 80 overs. They've been out there the whole day. They will be a bit tired anyway, whether new ball or not. 24.4 overs remaining.
Is light going to be a factor at all for
Yes,
England?
I think it will be. I mean, they've gone off at about 10 to 7.
I heard the patter of Hendo feet, and I thought, I bet he's coming in to talk about the light. Because I've seen it's been mentioned a couple of times, and it does look like the darkening. Maybe that is what encouraged Australia to dive in and take the new ball, pretty much as soon as it was due.
Indeed. Leach around the wicket is Cummins, and it's too wide.
And that moves as well.
It does move away from him. 83.9 miles an hour. His pace is down a little bit, and no need to play at that from Leach, so he doesn't, and there's no run. It requires people to get in, doesn't it, really? And confident they're okay out there. There's a man holding up an umbrella. I think that's a little bit hopeful. He's trying to encourage the umpires to come off the rain.
He's obviously a golfer. It's a Callaway umbrella.
Indeed.
His mate's pretending to keep his beer dry underneath it.
The people behind him are not impressed.
Leach faces up, down the leg side, and gets inside it, does Leach, as it goes past his hip and through the pane. There's no run.
Dave Wood says, I can empathise with the Bears' innings. Went in at 10, was told by the set batsman to just hang around for 10 overs. Didn't play anything that wasn't threatening the stumps.
Absolutely.
12 overs later, I was 1 not out.
Well, precisely. I was 0 not out in 24 overs. Last ball of the game. I think we had 1 wicket in hand, so I could have got out of the last ball and we'd have still drawn. So I stepped back and had a spinner on, and I carved him through the offside, and I got a 4 off the last ball of the game. But I hadn't actually been troubled, and it's not a test match by any stretch, was it? It was a bloody second division Surrey league game, but the principle is the same, you make them get you out. Cummins into Leach, gets right behind that and defended it stoutly up to mid-on. No run, gets right in line. He's not bad, is Leach, has to be said. Cummins staring at the ground as he walks back, thinking about what he's going to do.
To me, it does look edging on the gloomy up there.
Certainly it's gloomy than it has been today.
Quite like
it's
meter
nice
time.
and bright here in Sydenham, but on
will be
the TV,
20 past 5.
Yeah, the light's coming in. I mean,
Where's
it's
the
middle of
Manchester rain
September.
when you really need it?
Well, exactly. Can't someone get some big fans out somewhere in the Pennines? Blow it back across.
Blow it towards Old Trafford.
Well, Leach is facing up, and Cummins is around a wicket to him. It's full! Oh, it's come between bat and pad, beating him in on the inside edge. But it's not come back enough to hit the stumps. And a little bit bash away from pad. No run, ends the over. 21 overs for Pat Cummins for 4 for 41.
But his paces are well down. He's
Yeah,
82, 83 miles an
That's what
hour.
happens at the end of the day. You may have a new ball, but you're bowling at 84 instead of 88, 87, 88, 89.
Went
In fact, it's
through the gate, didn't it?
Through the gate and probably over the top of off stump.
Thank God for hard new ball.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
it is getting a little
getting
cloudier.
pretty cloudy. There's a conversation going on. Is it anything about the light?
No, the light won't be that bad.
No.
Yeah, you can still see the sun through the clouds. It's not,
I think it's Hazelwood probably going to continue bowling for the moment.
18 off of this. So what are we on here? 176. No, sorry, 166 the GPL will be currently at the moment. 2 wickets in hand. I don't think we need to worry about it until there's only one wicket left.
How many were scored yesterday?
18.
18.
18. So I've got to add 18 to whatever score we see.
Yeah, you've got to take 18 off.
Oh, right, of course. Duh. Yeah.
Worked around the corner by Overton off his hip. He's doing quite well about getting off the strike, Overton. He's done, worked that down to long leg, gets himself a single.
Well, he's seen most of Leach than anybody else, I think.
So 169 is currently the magic number, right? As we speak, right?
Well, these two would have presumably batted quite a lot together at some
Well,
point.
that's what I was thinking, and that's why, to be honest, I'd have brought Leach in ahead of Archer. I really, really would, because I think psychologically, if you were one less wicket down.
Well, there's no guarantee you wouldn't have got
This
a
is
grubber
why.
either.
This is why sometimes I just of course. Then you may have lost.
You may have lost
if
Leach.
Leach had got that same ball that Archer got, but then you might have.
Well, you might do.
He'd have been bowling. He'd have been
You've
bowling
got 2
over
wickets
rather than
left.
around the
You've
wicket.
got an hour and 3/4. You've got to survive pretty much. Short, wide, filthy delivery. Well, not filthy, but just pointless. 90.5 miles an hour, but it's not threatening anything, and no one needs to play at that.
If he keeps bowling those, he'll be
Well, if you
shepherd's
keep
crook in no time at all.
Precisely. I mean, if you keep bowling them, you just look at that as a batsman and go, fine, you want to bowl out there, you bowl out there. I'm not playing it. You've got to threaten the stumps or threaten the legs to make me play. You've got to bowl to me. It's actually how a lot of top order batsmen should play, don't they?
And these two just have to grit it out and grit
They
it out.
do have to grit it out. 23.4 overs remaining in a day. Payne behind the stumps. Stark is in, and behind that stoutly gets Leach and defended up to mid-on. There's no run, and Stark goes down to feel his ankle.
He's not happy with the ground footings. He
He's
wants
not.
more work to rough it up so he can get some good traction, I think.
He's scraping out the footholes, and we have
A telegram.
Telegram
For Mr.
Thanks to Anarup
Walker.
Sen, who is now a new $10 patron. Thank you very much.
Oh.
I shall add your name to the glory roll on the bottom of our screen.
Welcome,
at the end
and
of the
thank
day.
you.
Thank you indeed. Stark goes back to the end of his run. 1 for 42 for Stark. This is 15th over. The score was quite irrelevant, but England are 187 for 8. He's up to the crease now. Bowls at Stark. Just pulls his hands away as that's short and sharp and goes through the chest high. Leach just pulled his hands inside the line and it went through the Payne, and there's no run. It wasn't a bad delivery though. And he looked behind.
I might need to take a natural break at the end of this over. As
A
tense
natural
as it
break?
is, I might have to do that.
Well, when you come back, grab me another beer.
Well, I'll do it. Yeah.
Lovely.
What,
Did
from
you
the
say you
care
love me
package?
or lovely?
No, sorry?
I thought you said I love you.
No,
You just said lovely.
I just said lovely.
Oh, well, that's all right. Thank goodness for that.
I do love you, but not in that way. Not in that way, Tony. Leach. Oh, that's clipped nicely by Leach. Perfect. Lovely
Did
little
it.
clip off
Beautiful
his
little
pads.
shot.
Behind square, it's going to go all the way to the boundary.
Oh, he is
Leach
gonna
gets
go.
himself a 4. That's a gorgeous shot. And there's a wry smile on Stark's face there. He's like, bloody hell, an opener plays that shot worse. That was just lovely. He got himself in line, watched it under his nose, just turned his hands on the ball as it came into his pads, worked it behind square with decent timing, and just raced away to the backward square leg boundary for 4 runs.
Lovely shot.
Sweet.
Lovely shot.
There's a little man in the crowd giving it all. One ball left in his Stark over. A second with a new ball. And he faces up. Stark is up to the crease. Bowls full wide outside the off stump. Leaves that through to the keeper. No run. Another over survived. 23 to go for England. 191 is the score. The GPL is on 177.
I should get some tweets. Tim Everingham says.
No. What am I on about? Be 173, won't it?
Yep. Afternoon, evening, gorillas. Listening to you from Budapest. Considering I've only heard 2 hours on Wednesday, have Australia been too good or England mucked up their chances? I think Australia have probably been too good in this game.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
they've had.
I think that's a bit of revisionism. England were bad at points, and that's the point.
Yeah. Australia were just better at the crucial points.
Well, no, England were shit at the crucial points. They didn't take the chances that they should have taken, which allowed Australia to escape. And then Australia were good. I mean, they took the wickets at the end of day 2. Was it day 2? Or was it day 3 when they got Root and Burns? That was the end of day 3, wasn't it? Those, I think, England's screwing up of the beginning and first and second sessions on day 2. They were quite poor, allowing Smith to get away. Getting a wicket on a no ball, dropping catches was poor, allowing them to get a score. And then they were doing quite well. Cummins is in outside half of the bat as Overton gets forward and defends. It skews out to Gully. Along the ground though, there's no run.
Michael Panley says in both innings, Australia waited one delivery ball to take a new ball. Remember, the only time Mitchell Stark's got the ball to swing all test.
Oh, sorry.
Was in the first 5 overs.
I was more keen to get back in a hurry.
Sorry? Say again?
The only time Mitchell Stark's got the ball to swing all test was in the first 5 overs of the second new ball in the first innings.
Yeah, it's true.
And Hendo from the green room says, new ball not swinging so much as a replacement, which is bounce more, so we might see recourse to shorter stuff.
Well, indeed. What are we harder? Everyone's swang away in the... Oh, you bring me a large can. That's okay. Stokes. That's defended on the back foot by Overton.
And Neil Franklin says, get them off. It's perpetual midnight in Lancashire. Hashtag the dark side. I presume you might be talking from the sunny lights of the other side of the Pennines.
Well, Rooty's looking over to the left at the sky. Maybe he's praying. Overton's facing up. He's 20 not out of 77 deliveries. 191 for 8 England. We're on a Missy Jez score, I'm pretty certain, because there's a 3 at the end of it on the GPL. He leaves that alone outside his off stump and it's through the keeper and there's no run. 173 the GPL will be on.
I think the Messages scores are all good up to about 199. When England scored 199, I think that's the last of his block of 10.
Oh, okay. Might get them up on my phone so I can keep an eye on them.
I think they're in a tab on the jingle machine.
Oh, for what?
The GPL scores.
I'll have a look in a minute.
No, it's down the arse. And then he's about that from...
they are. Do you want me to tell you what they are?
They are there. Devin Flores, I have to say, has reinstalled. In fact, I think he took it down to $2 the other day, and he's put it back up to $10 in his Patreon. Come on, peeps, follow these people. We do this for a reason, and we know you love it. We love it.
Bradstock 2-3 had 368. That was jolly optimistic.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't. Of course, that was assuming England might actually go for the win. To be fair.
Yeah.
That does kind of make sense at the beginning of the day.
Shersho Dasgupta after this ball.
Beats the outside edge. Doesn't do a lot of the seam though. He just kind of plays down the wrong line like he did in the first innings. But this time it misses the outside edge and goes through to the keeper, and there is no run.
Kind of lost count of how many overs or hours left to play, but praying for block and all.
Block and all would be good, wouldn't it?
That's another tabloid, pithy tabloid.
Yes, exactly. What are we on? 173. So yeah, we're on a messy Jez. As it's defended again by Overton, gets right forward as Cummins bowls pretty full, but his pace is down to 83. I'm sure, and it's a lot easier than 88.
Our very grateful, very fine benefactor Brian 001 says, "How is the light going there? Will the overs be bowled today?"
Well, I don't think they'll get the full complement. If they carry on at this rate, I think they'll. There's a few clouds coming in. It's middle of September. I think the light will start to fade. They're inside a stadium. It does get quite dark inside the stadium, at about sort of close to 7 o'clock. I mean,
that
the
would
official
give them
finish.
about another.
That's still an hour and
It's
16
an
overs to bowl.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's
So they might lose 6 overs.
22 overs is how many left to bowl as a minimum today.
Yeah, but they can't bowl the minimum if they get taken off the field for bad light. That's the thing.
No, precisely right.
And if once they go off, you can't imagine that they'll come back on. I'm sure the Australians will be whining at the umpire to get them back on if that is the case.
If it's in the last hour, then
but it's getting tense, actually. I mean, I don't think when I came in this morning, I was hoping, praying that we get this deep into the game. But I don't think I was really expecting. I thought it was going to be over shortly before tea, if I was honest, when I came in this morning. And there was a fear that we'd all just collapse in the morning session full and dinked out square on the offside. I didn't mean to plan that, did Leach, but he did, and comfortably enough, and there's no run.
Nice bit of dinking.
Linux here, apropos, not too much, says, "Did you know that Budapest is actually made up of twin cities? One is called Buda.
It is Buda and Pest, yes.
Are they divided
which
by a bridge over a
means
river?
plague in German.
I didn't
What
know
does?
that.
Pest? Or Buda?
Also,
Pest,
having been there, I can also tell you that the Blue Danube is definitely not very blue.
No, I can imagine. It might have been back in the day at some
Yeah,
point.
it could have been.
Now it's just probably infiltrated with sewage. Anyway, Hazelwood bowls across Leach, and there's no need to play at that, and there's no run. I think these bowlers are quite tired. This morning he was bowling, and his pace has been up to 87, 88.
Do you think if you were Tim Payne, there might be an argument to just bowl your spinners for a couple of overs? They've got some overs to spare.
They have. I think he will go out to Lyon. I don't think he'll go to Labuschagne and Travis Head.
Do you know what, I might just give a Labuschagne. You've got a right-hander and a left-hander in, haven't you?
Yeah.
The thought of playing spinners in tandem for a couple of overs is not altogether daft.
Clipped off the pads really nicely by Leach. It's gone behind square. It's been chased by Matthew Wade. They'll probably just run an easy 2 with a bit of luck. They do. Oh no, they run 3. Well run. Overton takes the strike, rotating the strike. Right and left-hander rotating the strike always is, if they can rotate, is a good thing to do, I suppose. The bowler's always got to be thinking about round the wicket, over the wicket, what line outside the off stump to the different people.
Couch Cricket HD is pleading. He says they just have to see off the best bowler in the world and one of the best against the tail with a new cherry.
Yeah, they do. But he's looking quite tired. If I'm honest, he's looking a bit tired. His pace is down. It's not up in the high 80s. It's in the low 80s. And they've been out there all day. We're now into the evening session, remember. Cummins is in. Right forward is Overton. Defended stoutly up to mid-off, and there's no run.
And Spanglist Eye gives us a challenge. He says, may as well start drinking. I leave my choice of tipple to the choice of you gorillas. I have wine, assorted beers, and various cocktail-making accoutrements.
Well, what wine, though? Tell us what the wine is, and then we'll let you know.
What shall I drink?
Oh, I think you should have a dirty martini or something.
I think the probably answer is all of it.
Yeah.
Depends who you support. If you're Australian or English, or neither.
Overton facing up Hazelwood into his 17th over. Bowls, it's defended. Falls over a little bit, but catches enough of the outside half of the bat into the ground. Goes square by Overton out to point. And there is no run.
Kunal Tanai talking about that 11 earlier, I think, which has root dropped. His captaincy has been awful. Still would retain his place as a batsman for me, just about.
Who?
I don't see Broad as a captain though, and Stokes, with my choice, would have too much on his shoulders.
Yeah, I don't think they want to go for Stokes as captain. I'm not too against Rory Burns having a go. The problem is that has he secured his place enough? I think he probably has in this series. To be fair, Hazelwood in bowls defended by Overton, back down the track, and that ends that over. No run.
Peter Lloyd says, whatever ends up happening, this has been one of the better England batting performances of recent times. You just put the kiss of death on that now.
Yeah. 21 overs remaining.
Knuckle Panda says, read the changed old ball swinging Surely that's just blind luck. Pat Cummins is a superb bowler.
He is, but the ball started doing all sorts when they changed it after, how many overs was that? About 67? It was about 13 overs ago.
No, 57.
Yeah, it was nearer to 60.
And you know, that the change of ball suddenly, I mean, it hadn't been doing anything pretty much all day, and suddenly it was bloody reverse swinging going all over the fucking place.
Evil Scooters asks us, so how much is it appropriate to laugh if the umpires take them off for light? Depends, again, which team you're supporting.
Yeah. If you're an England supporter, you'll be laughing all the way. If
And
you're an Australian supporter,
how
you'll be
terminal
furious.
that is to events.
Well,
Because I don't.
you
If
know
they go
what?
off for light now, then
Yep.
there is a hope they would come back. There's certainly hope from an Australian perspective. A fear.
I mean,
from
if,
an English perspective.
if this does end up being a draw, and I still don't think it probably will, but you know, Australia will be chuntering to themselves. That's short, but down the arse, and Leach just sways inside it, watches it through under his arm, through to Payne. There's no run. You know, they'll be thinking, what the hell do we have to do to win this Ashes? We've got Stephen Smith, who's missed a test but scored 600 runs. We've got the highest wicket taker, although both bowling attacks have been pretty good. Although you have to say Australia probably have a better attack. They have a better third bowler than England have had throughout the series. We've missed James Anderson, and they've got a better spinner. In terms of batting, I think probably more England players have scored more consistently. Oh wow, that's short, and I think he's worn that in the chest as Leach. It climbed on him. He didn't get a bat on it. I think it cannoned off his chest out into the offside.
Nasty one, that one.
It was quite nasty. You got to wear them. It's a hard man. I'll tell you what. No, it came off the glove actually. He punched it out square on the offside, but there's no one there. And there's no run. He takes off his helmet. Come on, get the doctor out. Get a bit of cold spray. Take another few minutes out of the game. That's it.
The
Clean
glasses
your
cloth is going to be brought into action. There it is.
There's the Twitter account.
He didn't get hit in the head, so he doesn't need.
It says, no, it's the end of the over. I'm just doing my glasses.
Well, the crowd are quite well lubricated, and they can see the importance of what is going on out here. And of course, England, even if he didn't want help, Root has probably gone, get out there, bloody get out there.
Get out there and
spray
waste 3
him with
minutes.
something.
Yeah.
Talk to him for a couple of minutes.
Quite a few seem to have raided Dan Norcross's shirt cupboard as well.
Yeah.
Dave Wood says, we are halfway to the required runs. This could be close. Channeling hope.
You're already coming in?
Hendo.
Wow. Is it me?
So we all shift one.
I think I shift out, don't I? I'm on resting duty.
I can't remember who's on resting duty, to be honest. Is it quite dark there? You? Oh, really? Well, no, but they might get told they can't bowl fast bowlers.
But I'm not sure that will work in England's favour either.
Well, yeah, you're quite pessimistic about that. I don't know.
Whilst they're having drinks, Umpire Bell says, how about a delicate Medoc from the Bordeaux region for a drink?
Well, that sounds quite nice.
Yep, I'd go for that.
Edgar Allan Poe says something which I don't agree with. He says, Jos Buttler's dismissal was truly lamentable. He needs a long, feasibly permanent break from the Test match arena. I think
it was poorly judged.
Another short delivery.
Oh, I've just seen Isabel Westbury's.
And Cummins is fired up. He gives him a few words to
That
Leach
looks dark to me.
Oh, that does look very dark, doesn't it? But that's that particular cloud. If that comes over and the sun comes through. Listen.
To which Shiru Dasgupta just said, yes. He's gone for a mango daiquiri, Spangly Sai.
Oh, okay.
And send us a very nice picture of, in fact, two mango daiquiris. So he's planning ahead. Or he has a friend.
Cummins is not happy. He's just given a whole mouthful to Leach. Oh, blame Leach. He's facing out another short one. He ducks underneath that. If he's expecting it, duck underneath it.
Well, you can't blame the other player for doing something that you would expect to do if you were in the same situation yourself.
And that's 2 for the over.
Erasmus has said that is your 2, yeah.
In 2 balls time, Hendo's going to come in. You're going to be doing a bit of ball then, Hendo. Do you want to go over and do tweets?
Do you want me to do tweets?
Yeah, please.
Oh, well, yep. Righto.
You can play a little jingle and swap places. I'll keep an eye on YouTube for you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Leach facing up, 2 balls left. Cummins in, and he plays it up towards mid-on, and they'll get through for a single, gets himself off strike.
Well, I can do YouTube, I can see it there.
Okay, fine. And the GPL score will be 172. I don't think anyone's on 172. That's one of the scores that isn't covered. So if a couple of wickets fell now, we'd keep our money, but we'd lose.
I'll let you know.
I think I'd give away that whatever's in the GPL for England to get out was a draw.
171 and 173, but not 172.
Oh no, sorry, it's 177, isn't it? I'm thinking I keep adding 2 rather than taking away. 177. And Messi Jez has 177. He also has 179 and 181.
He does.
They've still got to take 2 wickets, the Australians. Cummins is in, it's full, and it's defended by Overton nicely on the front foot. Out to mid-wicket, and there's no run. Hendo's bouncing around. He's tense, he's nervous. So am I. 195 for 8, and we're going to have a little switcheroo. Play a jingle.
Yes, I will play a jingle. Shall I do marketing? Here it is. Or do another little Patreon.
We need your
Alternative cricket commentary. Bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are gorillas. We need your Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket. I think this is a good move. They're bringing Nathan Lyon back into the attack. I don't know if that's anything to do with the light. I just see that picture and it looks mighty dark. You can see the shadows now, and you know, the natural light may be taking over from the.
Should we have a jingle?
We might as well. First ball is pitched on the line of leg stump, turns back a little bit, or maybe just outside because there was no appeal. There are 6 men around Jack Leach now.
And again, they've only got one review left, haven't they? Because they burned that one on. Oh no, Overton overturned. Did Overton overturn?
Yes, he did. Yes.
He did. Yeah,
yes.
He was given out, wasn't he? It's not the other way around.
So we're into the last 20 overs. It's like an old style game, isn't it? Last 20. In comes Lyon, bowls forward, comes Leach, plays it well with those soft hands down into one of the multitude of gullies that have begun to appear. And, well, it's another amazing knock from Leach, whatever else happens.
He's been out of 36
balls. And he's batted with great technique. In comes Lyon again, throws this one up. This one turns from the line of middle, but he props forward, punches it almost in a defensive way back to Lyon.
It doesn't spit off the wicket. It spits if it even touches those those things, but he can get forward and cover those ones right in front of him.
Well, the silly mid-off, the silly point is very close, and he's moving really almost before Jack Leach has had a chance to play. I think the umpire needs to keep a watch on that. It's nothing deliberate, it's just they're so keen. If you've ever been in that position, feeling that position, you just want to almost snatch the ball off the face of the bat. In comes Lyon again, bowls to Leach, and Leach meets that well, pushes firmly up to mid-on, and there is no run. 195 for 8.
Messi Jez says, I think it's about time for Australia to burn a review.
In comes Lyon, final ball of his 27th over. Into Jack Leach. Jack Leach, that pops off his pad into the onside, but it's not where they've got a fielder. And he survives another over, 19 to go. England 195 for 8. The crowd is really finding their voice, much in the way that they did in a winning cause at Headingley. They are now trying to cheer England to a mighty draw in this game at Old Trafford, which would keep the Ashes alive for Thursday, and what a day that would be. It'll still be a great day.
Neil Franklin says Morgan might be a better temporary captain if you would give Root a rest but not be a threat.
I don't see that's going to happen before the end of the series.
I don't see that, and I don't
almost unprecedented. I mean, it was had the situation in 81 with both them. That was a bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Morgan and Red Bull Cricket have said goodbye to each other.
Yes.
More than once, and I don't think they're going to say hello again.
No, not immediately. Probably never, indeed. Overton will now face, and it's going to be Cummins to continue, I think it is. It's really been the main strike bowler for Australia. He's in, he bowls it short, and he rides it, he takes it bravely on the upper arm as he was ducking, trying to get underneath that one. As I said in a tweet a few minutes ago, the fewer the fewer chances that come Australia's way. With this harder new ball, we're likely to see more and more short stuff. Anyway, he's injured him, so we're going to have another little break as the physio sort of ambles his way off his seat. Overton
really
is shaking his hand. It doesn't matter. You bowl it there, you hit me. I'm going to take some time out.
That's why I was asking.
And the physio's walking rather slowly, isn't he?
Well, that's absolutely right. So he should. He's not been beckoned on yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
Don't sit down by the boundary. Get back up into the room. So
Well,
if it
he's
happens
all right.
again, you have to make your way down.
Well, strangely enough, he's just shaking his hand a little bit.
An honest man.
Yeah,
good for him.
No, not good. In again, short, and he ducks this one. It goes down the ass, as Ian O'Brien would say.
I don't want to say anything, but I think
don't say a thing, Bear.
Well, no,
just don't even say it. Just don't even think it. Don't even allow it to enter your.
It's a poor
process.
tactic, isn't it? Bowling short.
I don't think it is necessarily with this new ball, because I don't think it was a good tactic with the old ball, because although that was doing a lot, it was going to be less hard than this one. I think that the harder ball, it doesn't seem to be swinging as much as the replacement ball that we had. I think that they will go to this short pitch attempt. He's in again. It's short again. It's over Overton. It's almost over Payne, who has to leap up into the air. That's given us 1 for the over. Now, well, what were the other 2 balls? If that's the 1 for the over, what was the previous one? I'm sure that this bouncer rule gets flouted
quite often.
Quite a lot. It's very difficult to judge with Overton, because he is so big, and he does actually get down a long way. Anyway, let's see what he gets now. Is he going to get a full ball now from Cummins, racing in past umpire Erasmus? He does get a full ball. Does he get an edge? No, he doesn't. But it is a no ball. And so, one unnecessary run added to the total.
Well, going back to who we were saying earlier,
yeah, absolutely.
Declined to have the extra ball.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Vinesh says that was an unwanted sight. Beer belly and scratching. Was that you, Bear?
Probably.
Fits the description.
Listen, this is the internet.
You don't actually have to look at it.
You can find much worse things than my belly being scratched and me drinking beer.
As I found out.
Yes, exactly.
Cummins in again then, 4 for 43, looking for a 5 for. He's going to get it. He bowls another short delivery, which Overton gets down underneath, and he's allowed 2 bounces and over, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but that's 3. He's only called 1.
It seems to me at least 4 of these balls.
Exactly. He's only called 1.
Been short. So at what point? I know it's very difficult to tell, isn't it, between whether it's over the head or whether it's between the shoulders and the top of the head. But that is a difficult margin to call, and if you wanted to really be accurate, you would have to say that in some ways this is intimidatory. That said, Overton's hung around for a long time, and Australians will argue, well, he's fair game. 2 balls remaining in the over. 196 for 8. As he's in again, bowls. He gets in behind this one, which was a little bit fuller, but still relatively short. Well played by Overton.
Jesmyn Thomas, who's obviously an Aussie on YouTube, is wish England gets out soon. Come on, take wickets, bowl the Yorker. Come on, Aussie. Aussie rocks. He's clearly an Aussie.
Well, I was reading one here that everyone can join in cricket commentary. And Katie Langan said, thank you so much, Gorilla Cricket, for helping to get me to get through Sunday. Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're still with us.
Sunday a terrible day for people?
No,
I think it's probably a good day normally. In comes Cummins again. And that one nibbled off the pitch, but perhaps just a little bit too short, and Overton adjusted well and got right behind it, and the crowd are applauding, they're roaring, they're sensing another Headingley. Well, another sort of Headingley. The wonderful
another back to the wall
temporary stand is alive with excitement. It's replaced the Western Terrace of last week.
Yeah.
That's the place to be.
Wants to know how many overs left. The answer is 18. Whether they get to bowl them all, we don't know.
Well, I think they'll probably get to bowl them all if they keep bowling at least 1 spinner.
If 2 wickets will fall now, the score will be 178, and it will fall between a Messi Jez 177 and 179.
What are we working it out? It's 36 entries today, so that's another 18 quid on top of the 133. So it's 151.
151.
151 is the total on the Gorilla Cricket Prediction League, the GPL. See what fun it is? What a lot of fun it is. Make sure you enter the next chance you get on Thursday. In comes Lyon, bowls to Leach. Leach comes right forward, kills the spin, And the ball rolls back to Lyon.
That's what you've got to do, just get right forward, right to the pitch.
Right forward or right back.
Hydro Rocket
No
Ball
half
says,
measures.
"Come on, England, let's draw this and win the series."
Hydro Rocket Ball. I like
Hydro
that.
Rocket Ball.
What a great handle. In comes Leach. Oh, sorry, not Leach. It's Leach who's playing and missing at that one. It
What's the
turned
ball?
from middle stump, beat his edge, beat his off stump.
That was a good length. He had to go forward, but it was...
Well, he didn't really move forward, did he? That was
No.
the problem there. He was a little bit stuck on the crease there. And, it turned and bounced.
Didn't it? Really spat.
Here we go, Lyon again into Leach. That's too full, and he can kill the spin and stun that almost up to mid-on. But, there is no run.
Jeswyn Thomas says, "Thanks, buddies. Awesome commentary."
I can barely commentate it. I'm so excited.
Well, I tense more than excited.
Well, excited. I think it is tension. Yes. In comes Lyon again. Oh, a lovely ball on the line of leg stump, which straightens, but Leach is equal to it again, and Lyon grits his teeth in frustration and anguish as he thought he had found his way through there, but hadn't. The left-handed Leach settles down again. 6 men around the bat, 4 on the offside, 2 on the leg, and he's right forward, and he plays that down into the ground past the man at one of 2 gullies, really. There is a man at backward point who does the fielding. Another ball survived by Leach. Now, what I want to say about Leach is behind those wonderful spectacles are intense blue eyes, and he is concentrating so hard. When you get a close-up of his face, you can just see the determination. In comes Lyon again. He goes for the cut shot.
What the fuck are you doing?
What is he
Calm
doing?
down, Jack.
And he's lucky not to get a little feather through to Tim Payne, but he survives. That's probably his one full shot of the day so far.
Just leave it.
17 overs left. England are 196 for 8. Almost beginning to believe, but it's too early for that. It's far too early. 17 overs remain.
I imagine the noise in the stadium is large.
I imagine so.
Sean T has retweeted a picture of you in front of the camera there, biting your knuckles end out, which is pretty scary to
I
look
bet
at,
it is,
I've got to be
actually.
honest.
Change of bowling. They are switching around. They're quick bowlers, aren't they? Rapidly, just hoping for that moment of inspiration. It's
Richard.
Mitchell Stark coming back.
Let's have a jingle.
Richard,
Can't win the Ashes without your best players on the park. So drop Mitchell Johnson and bring in Mitchell Stark.
Well, it's going to be Mitchell Stark again. Is he going to try those Yorkers? Is he going to try those short balls? Is he going to try a mixture? Man's gone out now at deep square for Overton, the right-handed batsman, maybe for the miscue pull. So is this a bluff, or is he going to bowl short and to try and tempt him to hook? He's in, he bowls very short, but the ball really doesn't rise that much. Overton doing really well to get underneath that.
Well, he's having to bowl it too short, isn't it? So it's kind of pudding bounce. Even
Yeah.
with a new ball, it's
Yeah, a little bit.
You can't bowl it full enough to trouble the ribs. You have to bang it in so short that it just sort of sits up and loops over the bowler. It's probably a waste of I'd say that's a waste of a delivery.
someone in that little group didn't get the memo about what hats you're supposed to wear.
No,
look at that guy there with a scarf around his mouth. He's got a bobble out on top of his cap.
Yeah, but they are Australian. I mean, this is like the Arctic to them. Here is Stark again into Overton. Fuller defended on the front foot. There was wobble there. There was, I suspect, a little bit of movement away from the right-hander, but he got in behind it. Astonishing work from Overton. He's now been there for 94 balls.
Quality, mate. Do you want to know what the odds are now?
Go on.
I'm going to tell you when it comes up. Just take it like everything else. It takes fucking ever.
It's a lot of stress.
Richard Lambert, in the meantime, says the dreaded words, "Is this Cardiff again?"
Don't say it.
Don't say it. You can't even think it.
Don't write it.
Well, the odds have changed a lot, to be fair.
Picture.
England are 500 to 1. The draw is 9 to 4, and Australia 100 to 30 on.
Ooh, Stark in again to Overton. Overton goes back. It's got rid of the man in front of him at in the silly mid-off sort of area. That's perhaps a slight victory for him. We're looking back to Headingley, where there was a very disappointed Australian fan. Looked like he was going to cry into his beer. I don't know if he's still there. If he's there for this game as well, he may not be able to stand it.
There's a couple of people there with pith helmets on.
Yep, there's a lot of nervous smiling and grinning. as the camera pans round. Here comes Stark again, full and left alone by Overton outside the off stump. Another ball goes by. 16.2 overs remain. 2 wickets remain. I wonder what Stuart Broad's thinking sitting up there.
Lord.
And Justin Langer's beginning to show signs of strain.
God, I wonder. You mean he's smiling? Well, like a crocodile.
He's got enormous ears. I've never noticed how big his ears are.
Arthur Shearer sends us a lovely picture, which I've retweeted of Old Trafford, but it isn't Old Trafford. It's just eyes blinking in complete darkness.
Yeah, we don't get that on the TV. We can't see that because they use the camera lights to give an appearance of it being not as dark. Stark in again. Oh, I think he was just about to have a little fish outside the off stump, and then he swept the bat inside the line at the last minute. Very good batting from Overton.
Payne's getting a bit agitated behind the stumps.
Well, he would be after what's happened.
Going on.
He would be.
The crowd are on their case, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. But they've just got to keep their cool. Those England batsmen. They don't want to get excited by anything.
I think they just got to leave everything. You just decide to leave everything unless it's on the stump, so you've got to play it.
Well, that's easier said than done. As
Jos
Buttler will attest.
Yeah.
Final ball of Stark's over. First over of a new spell.
It's interesting though, isn't it? This ball definitely isn't doing as much as
that
dodgy change ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I saw a Knuckle tweeting about, well, I don't think anyone suggested that it was picked out and anyone realised that it was going to be a lot better.
Well,
I just
think
it just was. I mean, I don't think you can do that. I mean, you might notice that it seems a little bit newer. So
do
maybe
they get
we'll
a
have
choice?
that.
I think the umpires just pick one out, don't they? I think the umpires decide.
No, I think they show it. Well, they show it to the fielding
but
side.
But they get a choice
on
it.
The batsmen used to get a choice on it as well, didn't they? Fuller ball, but not terribly full, and he's got right behind that and defended it brilliantly. It's the end of the over. It's a maiden. England remain 196 for 8.
Evil Scooter says, that's really dumb from Cummings. You know they're going to waste time as much as possible. Pitch the fucking ball up. Linux Lear says, kleiner Fiegling. Cultural touchstone of the imbecile since my youth. I think I was in another conversation. Umpire Bell says, where the fuck's the rain gods when you need them, eh, Manchester? James Moosh says, ducked into a pub to see the end of the match. Can't convince them to pause for a few seconds so I can sync up with you with the pictures.
Oh, they're not very friendly, are they? That's a pub that you probably need to avoid in the future. But great to have you along. 16 overs remain. Joe Denley top scorer still with 53. And there is an interesting change here as Marnus Labuschagne is going to come on to bowl.
I've been calling for this.
Yeah, you have. And let's see what he does. It's this man. First few words of that, if something has gone wrong, you're using this jingle. He's actually done quite well.
Yeah. Well, he's bowled 3 overs for 9. I think it's maybe his third spell, actually. Been very short spells. He's bowling to Jack Leach. Can he get it to do something? Oh, it's gone up and off the pad, but not via bat. And,
surprised it didn't appear.
Yeah, you'd have expected Matthew Wade to have gone up there. But
I think they genuinely have been burnt from the last time. That not literally burning as in a review, but
that was flat and quite fast.
Yeah, he's not bad. When he gets it right, he's not bad. He's in again. That's turned, but he's got right outside off stump, but it turns into some mixture of glove and pad and thigh pad and box.
He's got a lot to work with outside the offside, off the off stump of the left hand.
Yeah, we've got 3 close catches now on the leg side. A little arc. This is a terrible ball. That's one of his long hops, but Jack Leach fails to put it away. Comes away off his pad to one of those 3 men. Crouched around him, no doubt giving them benefit of their wisdom. Labuschagne again in, bowls it right up there. And Leach this time kills the spin because it's too full. And that's perfect for Jack Leach. That's the length he'd be more than happy to play. Labuschagne goes back, coming round the wicket to the left-hander again. Once more, into the Leach. Oh, and that could
that's
be
out.
it. That is out. He's popped and he's gloved it. And he's gone. Leach has gone. Labuschagne has got the wicket. Would you believe it? Of all the people, the man who's been a thorn in the England side as a batsman since he came in for the second test. And now he has perhaps the crucial wicket. And Australia are 1 wicket from retaining the Ashes.
That was off his gloves. Couldn't do anything about that, really.
I won't look back. 'Cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
Kicked out of rough, didn't it? There's not a lot he could do about that.
I think the only thing he could have done was to have gone back
And let
tried
it hit.
well, maybe, or try to pull it, really. Well, it's been a great effort from Jack Leach. He'll be sorely disappointed. He really will, because the determination was etched in his eyes. He's lasted 51 balls. He's scored 12 runs. He's barely put a foot wrong. But he's finally gone, and what a great piece of captaincy from Tim Payne, you have to say.
Indeed.
Well, he's got some overs to spare, but, it wasn't going for him. But, Labuschagne, he's a funny sort of bowler. He's going to bowl some bad balls, but he's also, when he gets it in the right place, he's a very good spinner of the ball.
I mean, it was pretty short as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I think he might have been able to go back. I think he was just so inclined to getting forward that he got it wrong there, and his weight was going forward when he probably should have been thinking of going back. But hey, you can't take much away from Jack Leach, and
you can't blame him.
Once more into the Leach was enough, dear friend.
Indeed.
And England now just have Stuart Broad and Craig Overton standing between them.
Yay,
And
says
Ern going back to Australia.
If his stumps were knocked down, caught 5 feet off the ground, if he trod on his stumps, if God was one of the odds, Broad walk.
What?
Still got one ball, to face of Labuschagne. Could be all over this ball. 4 wickets for Cummins, 1 for Hazelwood, 2 for Lyon, 1 for Stark, and now 1 for Labuschagne. And England are on the brink of Ashes defeat.
Yes, of not retaining the Ashes.
Yeah, well, all
Of
right.
not winning back the
Technically,
Ashes.
Technically.
Tom M,
To
by
me,
the
it's
way.
Ashes defeat.
Says, I can hardly believe that yet again I find myself sitting at 3 a.m. listening to you guys, barely able to watch. I think guerrilla cricket is the only reason I've made it through the last few months of cricket without a nervous breakdown. Well, we're glad about that.
Yeah, well, you let us have the nervous breakdown for you, basically, because it's hard to commentate when it's it's tense as this. We have to do our nervous breaking down in public, in a sense.
Yeah, Shirsho Dashgupta says this was the match where Ponting batted for his life, wasn't it? Yes, I think it was.
Yes, indeed.
Chris
Well-
Maguire. That's another discussion. I'll leave that be.
Now, what's Broad's approach going to be? Is he just going to try and slam it?
No.
And will they have so many close fielders to him? Because he is liable to actually want to play the shot.
Well, the problem is that same ball is if it kicks
is.
out in the dirt, and you've got as much chance of hitting his gloves and popping up as anyone else.
He's got to pull it. He's got to pull that. But if that
Well-
ball is short, he's got to pull it. He's got to try and pull it.
Yeah, well, Labuschagne has the advantage again. The rough outside the off stump to the
Certainly does.
lefty is
Here
a
he
lot.
comes. This could be it. It's a full toss, and he defends it. Beautiful forward defensive to a full toss from a Stuart Broad. You wouldn't believe this is a man who's got 169 in a test match. That is the end of the over. 15 remain. 1 wicket is required. Surely
This is
Australia are
tense.
going to do it this time. 196 for 9.
Messi Jez seems to think I should be England captain for some reason. I'm not sure what I did, unless it was calling for Labuschagne.
Now this is curious. I don't know what was going on there, but umpire Erasmus was pointing to someone and then tapping the watch on his wrist. I don't know what
I
that
think
was.
this sound that's the last hour.
Oh,
No, they were down to 20 overs. We've had the 20 overs. It was 15 overs, isn't it? Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I
Last
think it
15.
is, and it is it's 10 past 6, so 10 past 7 is the cut-off.
Oh, Jack. Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack.
War Jack.
War Jack. He did so well.
Oh, he's going to be gutted, isn't he? He's going.
But I just had a feeling, the leg spinner to the left-hander.
Yeah.
I just thought, I'd been thinking all the way along, pace wasn't doing it. It was becoming too predictable. Bounce a duck, bounce a duck.
Yep.
Give him something different to think about, and I'm afraid I didn't want it to work, but it has.
Yeah, exactly. When the wrist spinner can get it, when he does get it to spin, can get it to spin more. Lyon is back into the attack, so we got spin at both ends effectively as Overton comes forward and just steers this mid-wicket.
You want me to play him a jingle?
Well, you might as well.
Okay.
We'll wait till after this ball's got another ball to go. Craig Overton, well, he's going to still do his best. Joe Root is very tense, as is Paul Collingwood. It's in, he comes in, he bowls, he defends into the ground. It's snatched by the left hand of the man at short leg.
It's this man.
He's lying. He's not too bad, and that's true. Lying.
He's in again, he bowls, he goes back, he plays it after the spin down into the ground to the man at backward short leg.
Now, if you're Craig Overton, do you start to think towards the end of the over looking for a single and trying to
No, I don't
Broad?
think you do. I think Broad is a good. I think you're fucking underrating Broad as a batsman here, to be honest.
Well, I mean, the Broad would prefer to play spin, wouldn't he? He goes back to this one. They're going to take a run as he steers that between.
I come back for
two of the
fucking
men
two.
then. Come on,
Come back for two because Broad doesn't.
Well,
want
it's not going to go all the way. Is
go.
No.
Stark looked like he actually wanted it to go for 4. He was desperately hoping it was going to go over the boundary, wasn't
But
he?
I think
That's
the
brainless.
reason I say that is because Overton wants to be facing the right arm over
Yes,
spinner because
absolutely.
it's coming into him for not so much rough outside his off stump. You don't want to. Broad has got the ball turning away from him outside a shitload of rough outside his off stump. That's madness.
airheaded.
That's
airheaded
really
cricket.
airheaded thinking.
That really is poor.
Well, you've got to place into context the pressure that's.
Yeah, but there was an easy 2 there.
Well, it wasn't just a 2. I
Yeah.
think there was a 3 there, to be honest.
And not only that, Overton's faced nearly 100 balls, and Broad has just fucking come out.
I know it's not. It doesn't make much
This is
sense.
nonsensical.
Well, they're gonna may well regret it. Let's see. As Broad, the left-hander, faces up to Nathan Lyon for the first time. He's in, he bowls, he leaves.
left.
Stayed well inside the line of that one as it turned outside the off-stump. 1 ball remaining in the over.
Hannah Forsyth says it's the hope that kills you, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I've had so much hope over my life. I'm surprised I'm still alive. Here comes Lyon again, sticking his tongue out. He forward, he prods that into the ground, and then away through the close field to the man at backward point. He survived the 2 balls. England are 197 for 9. 14 overs remain, and Australia need 1 wicket.
Evil Scooter says Marnus Labuschagne, the all-round threat Australia's been searching for since Miller. Who'd have thought it?
Well,
No,
Marnus Labuschagne
well,
has
he was there to break the
done the trick, and he's immediately whipped out of the attack.
Yep, whip him in, get the result, whip him
this
out
man.
again.
And it's this man again.
He once hit keys wet as stumps. He must be good. Josh Hazelwood.
That reminds me, hearing that jingle, actually, that wasn't. Didn't I read a piece the other day in which Jofra Archer said his cricketing idol was Craig Keyswetter?
Interesting, but I suppose it's a Somerset connection, isn't it?
Well,
you can sort of see that.
What's the Somerset connection? He's from Sussex.
Well, no, Craig Overton.
No, Jofra Archer.
Oh, Jofra Archer. Oh,
Jofra
no,
Archer.
sorry. For some reason I thought you said Overton. No, I don't get it then.
Unless it was something to do with the fact that when he was in Barbados and the 2010 World T20 was on, I think, and Keyswetter was in part of that. Overton then facing lots of close field as the ball comes in and comes into him, and he jabs down on it at the last minute.
Jenny Morley's with us. She's sick with nerves, she says. Oh, I'll stick with it, Jenny.
Yeah.
It's not easy here.
You're not
where
the
we
only
are
one.
either.
You're not the only one. Craig Overton has now used up 103 balls. He's been out there for the best part of 3 hours. 3 hours Craig Overton has batted for. You kind of look up the order and you say, hang on, aren't there some batsmen up there that ought to have done that? 197 for 9. The slips go down. In he comes. He lets this one hit him on the rump, really. And then probably wishes he didn't, because he sort of raises his head up as if, oh, that was actually a little bit more painful than I thought.
Umpire Bell simply says bollocks. Tom M says, well then, might not crack another beer, but the bear has.
Yeah,
Arthur Shear says Overton and Broad, 15 feet of combined last-ditch resistance.
Indeed. Oh yeah, took that quite nastily, just below the ribs, I would say.
I think he's got one of these.
Well, he's got the chest
pads
pad, but
on.
that still hurt. Look at him.
Yeah, it did. Well, you can get yourself a knighthood if you fucking stick this out, man.
In comes. Oh, he's in on the pad. That's got to be out. That's got to be out. And that is the Ashes for Australia. They go absolutely crazy. Hazelwood has done it. He got it to nip in. He couldn't get far enough down the wicket. And although obviously Overton has reviewed it, I don't think he's got much chance there unless he got a bit of an edge on it. But I think that is the Ashes for Australia. Great rearguard action by the lower order of England, but it's not quite been enough. That is absolutely plum. Absolutely plum. And the Ashes have gone, Bear. The Ashes have gone. They've gone.
No, they haven't. There's a test to play.
The Ashes have gone. They will not be in the possession of England this
well, they
summer.
will be because they'll be at the MCC.
Well, yeah, technically. But that's out. That's out. And England have lost. Unless there's an edge there.
No,
is there an edge there?
It's bat and pad quite simultaneously.
No, there's
but
a gap
I think
there.
it's pad first.
Well, you often think that, but is there a bit of ultra edge on that? Just to add to the drama?
Cricket Windies is with us and it just says plum.
I think so.
Yeah.
It is. It's out.
No!
It's all over. Tim Payne goes crazy. Those Australians who've been sitting there with such tension, they erupt. Yellow caps go flying into the air. It's like the 1923 Wembley Cup final. They're in a huddle, and the Australians have done what they came to do. They've retained the Ashes. It doesn't matter what England do at the Oval, apart from World Test Championship points, but Australia have won. And then there seems to be some quite nice sporting behaviour going on there amongst the fans who are English fans leaning across to congratulate those Aussies. And, well, it was a good effort from England. As so often, it just wasn't quite enough. And if
they did a lot better than I thought they were going to do.
If some of those batsmen at the top of the order could have done a little bit more of what Craig Overton, Jack Leach and Jos Buttler did, well, we might be seeing a different outcome. A very depressed Jos Buttler sits there with his chin in his hands on the balcony. And England will have to wait till 2020-2021 to have a chance of winning back the famous old
A lot of people tweeting, but a lot of it's before the last wicket was taken. Thank you all for taking the time to join us and get involved. In terms of minutes at the crease, this is Craig Overton's longest ever innings.
Wow.
Says umpire Bell. Well, we're not surprised. Messi Jez, thank you, man. My post-heavenly stress is cured.
Oh, good
plus
point.
the GPL. What happened?
What
to
happened
the
to
GPL?
GPL?
Oh, okay. What was the score?
Life is good. He says, and gorillas are wonderful.
197. So it was 179.
Someone's got to have had that.
Have they? 179. Let's have a look.
179.
179 was Messi Jez.
No wonder I said it was an absolute nightmare for the Gorillas. Messi Jez has seen Australia retain the Ashes and wins £151. I don't think I can bear it. I think I'm going to have to go and leap off the nearest building. Oh my
Messi,
God, it's a disaster.
I know you're an Aussie, mate, but I don't think it could have gone to a nicer man.
Yeah, but he's still Australian.
Well,
isn't he?
yeah.
He's still Australian. He's Australian. What are the dogs saying? The dogs will be really happy.
And the dogs will be happy. They're not getting a beat.
Pirate Badshaw says, commiserations, comrades. Thank you all and good night.
Well,
Alan in Holland Handy says, thanks, Gent was a very entertaining innings. Yes, it was. Jenny Morley says, I lived in Australia from 1999 to 2010. Lovely country, but the Aussies drive me nuts.
Yes.
They're in love with themselves.
Oh, yes,
she
indeed.
Says.
Yes, well, I mean, no one else is going to love them. So let's be honest, they have to. It sticks in the craw. There's Jason Langer hugging people. There's Graham Hick, you traitor, Graham Hick, hugging all the Australians.
He's a Safa.
Well, he's a Southern African as opposed to a Safa, exactly. And well, what can you say? Australia probably been the better team throughout the series. Just about England.
Still draw the series, man.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't understand where you're coming from, Bear, at all. I mean, you're taking optimism far too far.
No. I understand they retain it. I don't care. I care about the result.
Yes.
If we draw the series, we draw the series.
You draw the series, but the Ashes are gone, and that's what people. This is what the Ashes is judged upon. The Bear. This is what the Ashes is judged upon. You don't sit back and say, "Oh, in 1927, England got a tool draw in Australia."
Well,
they either lost the Ashes or they regained
but they haven't
the Ashes.
lost them if they don't. They just didn't.
Okay, that's
them.
a technicality.
It's not technicality. It's a fact.
The The possessors of, I'm going to have to argue with this, and people will agree with me because you're talking.
Well, no, because as I said
gone.
yesterday, you don't give a shit who holds the Pataldi Trophy, the Wisdom Trophy, or anything else. You only care who holds this little fucking urn, which always ends up at the MCC anyway.
But it's the
so no one ever holds them.
It's
but the point is, no one cares about who holds any other trophy. It's the result of the series.
Yeah, but
and for me personally, if we get a draw at the end of the game, well, you know, I'd prefer to win at home. I'd hate losing at home, but if I get a draw, I'll go, well, phew, we didn't lose.
Well, one, they've got to win at the Oval to even achieve that.
Yeah, exactly, true.
But in my opinion, England would have wanted and expected to retain the Ashes on home turf, and
they would have done, and I thought we would have done.
Well, I didn't think we would. I didn't think we would. I thought that was always over-optimistic.
Well, I mean, I was worried actually. Once Anderson was out in that first test, you kind of wondered, you know. In fact, we were quite fortuitous that actually Archer stepped up, because I was wondering where, if we didn't have Anderson and we only had sort of Wokes and Broad, where was that third bowler coming from who was going to be a pace bowler?
Well, that's absolutely true.
And Archer did step up and gave us a little bit of hope, to be fair. But Anderson is a big miss, and Smith is the difference between the two sides in terms of runs throughout the whole series when he's been playing. The only times we've actually been in the game is when Smith hasn't been playing.
Yeah, I suppose. Yes, that's absolutely true, because we went down to the wire at not quite to the wire, but they were 6 down, I think, in the end, Australia at Lords, and of course that nail-biting win
and
at
again,
Headingley.
You know, at Lords we dropped Labuschagne when he was on 11 or something, when he went on to get 59, when we had a chance. We had 2 sessions to bowl them out, and if Labuschagne had gone at that point, it was halfway through the afternoon session and we'd have had him 4 or 5 down. He turned out to be the rock that everything limpet-like that stood on. England's fielding in this series has been quite poor. We've dropped a fair few chances, and they're important chances. And you know, catches win matches and all these cliches, but they're fucking true. Australia have dropped a fair few, to be fair. I mean, didn't they drop? I think they might well have dropped. Well, Stokes when he got his runs too.
They were difficult catches.
I mean, the fact that we won the last test was 150 shot. Yeah, I mean, you hardly ever get through from there, and the fact that we required 70 with the last wicket is quite mad that we actually did get there. So we've got to consider ourselves lucky to even be 2-1 down, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But still, you know, if personally for me, if we get out with a draw, it's better than losing, worse than winning.
Well, I'm not sure that many people will agree with you. Tony has hot-footed it out of the arena, because he's obviously got fed up with you and me arguing about this. So I'll just see if there are some further tweets. Anna Forsyth says, congrats Messers, and well done to him. He says, the dogs are in heaven. To be fair, I think I spent 150 quid to win that 151 jackpot. Please take 50 quid for your consolation drinks at the Woodhouse. Listen, the bear doesn't need any more today. Marnus Labuschagne is an anagram for calm gun, arm, ashes, urn, which means something, says Chris TB. I don't know what it is. Adrian Lau says, we cannot have lost the Ashes because we didn't currently possess them to lose them. He agrees with you. Devin Wade says, hopefully Curran can get a run out at the Oval now.
Well, I'm going to say Robert Miller, he's in total agreement with me. I think a draw is fair. In any other series, a draw is better than a loss. That's totally valid.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you can comfort yourself with that. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes down to it, it's about, it's a symbol. It is a little urn, but it's a symbol. And it's a symbol that is taken more seriously than other trophies in the particular sport. Certainly is by England people.
Well, by some people, I'm going to say it's not necessarily. I've never thought of it as the urn. I thought of it in terms of winning and losing. And if we'd have drawn a series in Australia, even though we hadn't retained the urn, I thought that was a victory. You know, you've got to see things in a. We see things.
Well, technically, though, as I said to you at tea, that if the remaining series that England and Australia play for the next 10 years are drawn, the Ashes remains.
But the point is, if a series is drawn, you don't say one team is better than the other. You say that they're equal sides. And the point for me is that I don't want to be seen as worse than Australia. So if I get out the series with a draw, I can go, well, you can say that Australia are better than us, but the result says no. Whereas if we lose, I can't say that.
You're just comforting yourself.
I am comforting myself to a certain degree. I am comforting myself, but it's like in a football game. You can play shit in a football game and get a draw, and you go, yeah, hey. You know, it's the same deal for me, in a sporting sense. Anyway, Mohammed Mustafi says, right from the beginning, it was Australia's match, but towards the end, fight for England fought was simply praiseworthy. Overall, a gem of a classic Test match. Again, has been a cracking series, it has to be said. I don't think overall we expected all these tight Test matches, did we?
No, I suppose in a sense you could say that maybe that's karma for something like Cardiff. If you want to go back all that way, these things they say have a way of working themselves out. I'm not sure I agree with that, but
well, see, Jenny Maloney's with me as well. He must win at the Oval. The Ashes has been retained, but the Aussies by the Aussies. But to draw a Test is better than losing. I think she means series as well as the earn. It's more points, lads, and that's true. It's in a Test match, fucking World Championship.
Yeah, but as I said, no one's going to take any notice of the World Test Championship until things get a bit tighter, basically.
Well, exactly.
Yes,
Which you won't know. And the problem is all these short series where you get 60 points. I mean, this is it. You've got to have the one thing about the Test Championship, you don't have I mean, ideally, everyone should play the same amount of tests, like in a league as well, where you play the same amount of matches against each other. If one test, like Bangladesh play 2 tests and each test is worth 60, and each test in this series is only worth 24. Actually, you can afford to lose more tests in this series, And then when you play New Zealand, if you win, we've got 2 Test series against New Zealand. Oh, it's not a World Cup.
That's not a World Test
But
Championship.
say it was, each test would be worth 60. You go, well, fuck it. I'd quite happily lose 4-0 in the Ashes because Australia would only get 88 or 92 points or 96 points. If I won 2 tests in New Zealand, I get 120. I mean, that's quite mad.
They have to be weighted, don't they? I think. I mean, they're not.
Well,
at the moment.
it should
I think
be.
there should be a weighting system so that you get some reward for having put yourself through the agony of 5 tests or 3 tests as opposed to, or 4 tests as opposed to 2. Anyway, in the absence of any more people communicating with us this evening, I'm sure they've all had enough of us. We've had enough of you. No, we haven't really. We should call it a day. And
we'll be Anna here. We'll be back on Thursday.
We will indeed. It's a day when Australia retained the Ashes, I tell you. It went down to the wire. It was a lot of fun and it was very tense indeed, but nonetheless those Aussies have their hands on the little urn. See you on Thursday morning for the 5th and final test of the summer.
See you then. Bye.
Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the Test match insurgency. At first they tried to sign